Question is, what is Shia genocide? That's a big one. So Shia genocide is the targeted killings of Shia Muslims around the world.
Shia genocide is happening in the world today. It's been happening, and it's an issue that is ignored by so many news outlets, by so many Muslim news outlets. And I think that it's not being covered because people make it into a sectarian issue when it's a human rights issue.
These Muslims are being targeted for the fact that they are Shia Muslims.
We're being killed for being the lovers of the Ahl-Bayt, the family of the Prophet.
Because of these different things, we are targeted, unfortunately killed in the masses, and it's something that is a shame that occurs.
Shia genocide happens when in Muslim countries, in areas where extremist groups are in control, say that Shia groups are allowed to meet for possessions. Once those Shia groups all join to commemorate a important moment in history, they are massacred.
Shia genocide is mostly seen, you can see a lot of it in Pakistan, where I'm from, Saudi Arabia. You see a lot of it in, I believe, Indonesia or Malaysia, which is one of the countries that completely bans Shiism. You can't even practice that there.
There's people that literally are not able to practice being Shia. We have this concept of taqiyya, and it's literally like if you're in an area where they're not accepting of Shia Muslims. Like this has been going on since the Prophet's time till now. If you're in an area where they don't like Shias, you're allowed to deny your faith solely to protect your life.
The fact that this group of Muslims are being persecuted in so many countries because of what they believe isn't acceptable. It's not Islamic, and I think that it definitely should be talked about more.
You need to talk to a Shia Muslim and a Shia person and just ask them if they have any loved one or know of a friend or a family member who has been affected by Shia genocide or a targeted killing. I can guarantee that they know at least one person.
So I actually used to work with a lot of refugees and families and individuals who were displaced, and it wasn't because they came from war or conflict or anything that's going on in their countries. It's for the sole reason that they are Shia. And it wasn't even something that they outright told me. It was something that I found out. I found they were wearing a niqab, or after they got to know me and be comfortable with me a lot more, that's something they shared with me, because I was like, I am Shia too, like, you know, and that's not something that they can feel comfortable even stating in their homes, in their own countries, because they will face and like attacks. Their families will be attacked, like any hatred. This is really hard to talk about.
Literally, like for example, my family is from Pakistan, and my family moved to the United States because Shias were being persecuted in Pakistan, and they fled to the United States to get a sense of religious freedom and to be able to practice their faith.
It's the fact that we can tell you this story that it's a major issue. Different things like the bomb blast in Afghanistan to the Hazara community, who are targeted not only for being Shia, but also for being Hazara. And so there's so many different kind of minute little things that go overlooked, and being Shia is unfortunately one of them, and people kind of brush over the fact that Shias are being killed for the fact of their beliefs in being a Shia Muslim.
You see it here where people just have an issue with certain belief systems in Islam, and don't leave it up to your personal interpretation of how you get closer to God.
There's Islamophobia in America, but there has never been Islamophobia in America towards Sunnis, whereas Shias are being killed because they're Shia, not because they're Muslim. In any Muslim country, they see Muslim. They aren't killing people because they're Sunni. But whereas in a lot of majority Sunni countries or in a lot of Middle Eastern countries, they're killing Shias because they're Shia. So I think that there might be one-off instances, but I kind of compare it to people saying Blue Lives Matter, because yes, there might be one-off instances, but there's a systematic and very clear cycle against Shia Muslims in so many Middle Eastern and like Islamic countries. I also think it's really important not to dismiss it as kind of like an all lives matter issue and saying that we don't see Sunni or Shia, we just see Muslim, where people are actually being killed because they're considered Shia. It doesn't help the issue to just say that this isn't happening and it's a one-off issue where it's both sided, because it's proven, and it's been historically proven, that Shias are being targeted in countries just because they practice a little bit differently.
We can do dua that inshallah that it ends and that we can live together in a world, all Muslims together in unity and arm in arm.